Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest edition of RE054, where I take old stories I've narrated and update them to modern audio standards. This particular story is called Interspecies MMA, written by NL Conda 69. Bloody right, it surprised no one. Even with the galactic war at full swing, cage-fights gained unprecedented popularity. You know which war? The humans versus the galaxy one. In fact, it was precisely the context of the war that breathed new life into the dry, antiquated discipline where nothing truly new has been done for centuries. Humans, a previously unknown species, brought with them exotic fighting styles, a whole new level of savagery, plus a characteristic inclination for showmanship. The fights were highly illegal, mind you, but war, or no war, nothing can stop people from seeing a good fight, so we gave it to them. What actually changed? Here's my theory. The bored fans could finally watch fights that were not just sport, but emotionally charged spectacles. Humans were universally hated, reviled, feared, shrouded in myths and half-truths. They were a perfect challenge, monster, trial. This, in turn, brought other psychological effects into play. To beat a human in a fight was to prove the superiority of one's species. Every time a member of a race of the wider galactic community went against a human, all members of that species were glued to the screen. If their champion prevailed, the species media would erupt in jubilation, making the victor a global celebrity overnight. If the champion, as often as happened, was beaten and humbled, the entire species would bear the shame of their defeat. Just to give you some context, humans were notorious for their Deathworld physiology and mentality. A honey badger of the universe, if I can use the human analogy. Kick him in the head, dazed but standing. Stab him with the talon, say goodbye to your limb. Inject with venom, watch out, you're making it angry. Yes, other species are often larger, faster, or possess natural weapons and armor. But few species could claim to be as fast, strong, and durable at the same time. Those that could didn't have the stamina, while humans could routinely fight for an hour. An hour! Just imagine that. Everyone was going nuts over the fact of how compact yet energetic they were. Don't even get me started about their combat instincts. True, the majority of intelligent species evolved as predators and fought with the ferocity typical of predators. But humans are notorious for an entirely new level of ruthlessness, almost as if they were once prey, until they started eating the predators back. Who knows? Isn't that all you wanted to ask? My favorite fight. I've once seen a human sacrifice his limb only to get an opening in a fight with a cacal's 4 times his size. It was the semi-finals 2 years ago. The human stepped in, blinded the cacal with his remaining hand, then jumped and choked it with his legs. Lifted his bloody stump in a triumphant gesture, and only then fainted. The audience started chanting the human's name. For the first time since humans joined the league, Wozniak, you absolute legend. I almost cried when you retired. Don't write that down. Thank you. No, it's not that I admire them. I just recognize them for what they are. A disease for sure, but one can't help but, forget it. Let's carry on with your questions. Yes, I have another example. This was in tryouts, maybe a few months after the entire thing started. For the record, nobody thought or cared much about humans at that point. They were still a very new thing. So this rookie comes in and gets registered. Ex-soldier on the run. We had a spot on the roster, and any new species are always welcome to get torn apart by professionals. The season started, and guess what? This pink motherfucker, pardon my language, won 5 fights in a row in the first round. So we moved him up to the highest weight class. The first fight in the new class was a Timur bull, one solid slab of muscle. I thought it would just grab the human and split him apart. Imagine my surprise when I saw the very same bull lose both his kneecaps and surrender. It took 2 rounds for the human to do that. He landed hundreds of kicks, didn't get hit or grazed once. He just went bam, 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 until one knee broke, then went for the other. Earned himself the title that day, Lumberjack. That man would go on to become the first human champion in history of the sport. But his obscure rookie league victory is what I'll never forget. Anyway, there you have it. 10 seasons later, and 6 champions in a row were humans. Would be 10 out of 10, but for one lure champion, who even humans agree was a one-in-a-century prodigy. You already heard my theory. They are simply made for cage fighting. And as a manager of 3 humans, including one in the Champions League, I don't really mind. End of story. I'd quickly like to thank the T5 peeps: Cold War Boomerwaffen, Severin Cerberus, Bushmaster 177, Henry the Red, Caspar Arnholtz, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Elijah Silvercross, Dragzoon WRE, and Severin Cerberus. Thank you very much.